What up? What's good, family? I'm your boy Trey Fraser. I got my brother Maestro Styles here with me.
Yep.
Welcome to another episode of the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Shout out to all of our Facebook Live viewers. Make sure y'all click that like button on the Facebook page. Also, check us out on our Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. And you can follow us also on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hey man, post Thanksgiving. We had a rough day today, but how was the holiday, man? How did that work out?
Holidays was good, man. Normal shit, normal drink. Kick it with your family. Same sandwich. It was good to see it. It was good to see the people I did get to see.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
about you?
Same here, just the usual, except I went to New York for a few days, hung out with the in-laws, had a chance to go see my pops. Shout out to my pops and everybody up there. It was good. I had a chance to eat some food, watch a little bit of football, watch some basketball also. The beat goes on, bruh.
Yeah, man. I'm starting to realize that these holidays aren't as exciting as they used to be when I was younger.
Yeah, I feel you on that. It's different.
Yeah.
It's a different
Yeah,
perspective.
I mean, like back in the day, I could eat crazy and not feel the effects of it. Man, I ate one good plate
Hmm.
and felt the effects
You
of
ain't
it
gonna
almost
win.
immediately. Yeah, I couldn't. I don't have the energy for it. Like if I try,
Hmm.
I mean, you could pretty much cancel the rest of my day. Anytime I eat good now at 38, anytime I eat good at 38 now, that you can count me out for the next 2 or 3 hours if I eat real good.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I had one plate on Thanksgiving, and I mean that was it. I mean, other than a run to White Castle, I think when I went to my pop's crib on Friday, I had to give me some White Castle while I was up there. Where else did I go eat? Got to the pizza joint, as soon as we got there. Got me some Geno's pizza. Other than that, man, I didn't really, kind of go all in like, kind of like how you said when we were kids. We try to eat like 3 plates on Thanksgiving. I mean, I could barely eat one, but it was it,
Yeah, I be done, man.
it was
I
just
be
the other
done.
stuff. For me, it was just the other foods, that were there. So I feel you on that though. Can't go in like we used to. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
That's for sure. Did you get a chance to watch any of the games on Thanksgiving?
I watched the end of the Lions game. I watched. I didn't watch much of the second game.
Raiders and
It's
Cowboys.
Raiders and Cowboys. I didn't watch that. Now that I'm really thinking about it, no, because I certainly didn't watch the NBC game. I promise you
Mm-hmm.
that game watched me.
Mm-hmm.
That game definitely it was on, but it definitely watched me by the time I got in the house.
Yeah, I mean Raiders Cowboys clearly was the game of the day
Was the
that day.
game? Yeah,
That was
yeah.
the
I was ripping
game.
and running.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was ripping and running, but I heard it got good.
It got really good, man. It went into overtime, so at least
Hmm.
that was
Yeah,
great. To watch because I watched the whole thing. I watched Raiders and Cowboys the whole thing and kind of watch it unfold and just when you thought the Raiders were kind of going, you know, down, they found a way to beat the Cowboys, who I think we agree the Cowboys are a Super Bowl contender in the NFC. So
hmm,
that was pretty interesting to see that, and then to hear that the coach is tested positive and he's not going to be able to coach this game against the Saints coming up in a couple of days. You wonder how that's gonna shake out in terms
yeah,
of coaching, play calling, that kind of a thing. But I do think they get Amari Cooper back, and I think they're gonna get CeeDee Lamb back, so that's gonna help. Because obviously
yeah.
against the Raiders, their
And
absence
Kellen
was
Moore.
felt.
So who's the coach that's out? McCarthy.
McCarthy's out. Yep.
Okay, but Kellen Moore is there.
Kellen Moore is going to coach the offense, and
Okay,
Dan
okay,
Quinn
he'll be
is
fine.
going to play as the coach since he's got
Yeah,
coaching
yeah,
experience.
he'll be
So,
fine. They'll be
so,
fine.
so
They'll be
yeah.
fine.
Yeah, and then I think when you look on the other side of the game coming up against the Cowboys, I think you look at the Saints, and they're on a free fall right now. I mean, that's four
Yeah,
losses in a row, and
yeah,
I think at this point, it's never too late, especially in that conference. But at 5-6, I think they are, and I
yep,
think they're in the hunt right now. I think they're no longer in
yeah.
that 5, 6, 7 position. That it's gonna be tough, man. They don't have a quarterback. I mean, I don't know how they
They don't have a quarterback.
get out. I don't know how they get out of this one. I really don't.
Yeah, I agree. I think this spells the end of playoff hopes for them. I think this spells the end of playoff hopes for them.
Yeah, yeah, and you know who else I think is in that conference? I think is kind of going down a little bit. Not that we had Carolina, making the playoffs, but I know we talked a couple of weeks ago, and we kind of looked at the schedule and we looked at Cam's return and said, hey, these are three winnable games against Carolina, against Miami. I forget who they played. Oh, the football team, and then they got the
Yep.
bye this week, and then they play the Falcons after that. And we
Yep.
thought maybe they could, make up some ground there. And against the Dolphins on Sunday, they just looked terrible.
Yep. And meanwhile, and let me just for the sake of clarity, uh, I feel like and like well, I guess not for sake of clarity because you knew because we both agreed that they weren't making the playoffs. But I mean, I didn't have them beating the football team, so
Right, right. I
I'm
had
more
them
of the
going eight and
football team.
five. I had them going eight and
Yeah,
five. I thought they could beat these three teams coming up, and then that bottom part of the Panthers' schedule was kind of going to determine, what direction they were going to go. Because if I'm not mistaken, they had Buffalo on the schedule. They had the Bucks twice, and then I forget who the fourth opponent was going to be. But that was going to be a tough stretch for
yeah,
Carolina. So
yeah,
even though I didn't have them making the playoffs, I thought if they got to 8 and 5, they'll put themselves in a pretty good position, and who knows from there what'll happen. But since now they've lost two in a row to, a couple of teams that we got questions about still.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think it's a wrap for Carolina. It's a wrap for them. And
I
McCaffrey's going for
I
the
agree.
season again.
And yeah,
That
yeah.
hurts too.
It's
That
a wrap.
hurts.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I mean, it's a wrap.
Yep. Yep.
It's
Yep.
a wrap. Definitely a wrap.
Yeah, got to get a quick shout out to Leonard Fournette, who I thought was kind of the player of the weekend with his 4 touchdowns in the game against the Colts on Sunday. Three rushing, I think three rushing, and I think
One
he caught a
receiver.
receiving touchdown. And it's kind of symbolic that he's did it against a team that had the player of the week the previous week in Jonathan Taylor, who had his 5 touchdowns. So it's only right that Leonard Fournette gets his flowers, on this platform today. But people have been talking about his receiving ability to be able to catch the ball out the backfield, and I've always thought that even going back to Jacksonville, like I felt like he was always that. Even when he was with the Jaguars, he caught
I mean,
passes out the backfield like that.
when you say like meaning that he couldn't do it or that he
Meaning that
wasn't
he
good
couldn't
at
do
doing
it.
it.
Like folks were saying, like he couldn't do it. Like he couldn't do it consistently. And I thought I remember a few moments when he was with Jacksonville where he caught the ball out the backfield. I thought pretty well and
Well,
consistently
yeah,
also.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I never thought. I never looked at that like, oh, that's a strong point of his game. But I never looked at it like it was a weak point of his game. It's just
Yeah,
like he's
exactly.
yeah, yeah. I don't even. I wonder where that conversation even came from. I don't think it. I don't never like he's done it. He hasn't never.
He's done it.
I'm sure he's never been a 40 catch. catch, 45 catch dude. I don't think he's ever been that, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he's consistent. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where that conversation came
Yeah,
from.
I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that a team that he's on right now is more noticeable than the team that he was previously on in Jacksonville. I don't know if it has something to do with that, but to me,
I
he's
don't know.
always been that. A dude that can, on occasion can catch the ball out the backfield and do some damage. He's always been that guy to me,
Mm,
you know?
I don't know, bro.
Yeah. So Colts lose that game, and they
Colts
had a
lose. Yeah,
10-point lead. They blew a 10-point lead, bruh. Like that.
yeah. I mean, I hate to be that guy, because the Colts have been playing well as of recent.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the Bucks. It's we don't.
Brady. I mean, I don't want to say Brady because I didn't think he had a strong game in
Well,
this
I mean the
one.
Buccaneers in general.
Right.
Yeah, I mean the Buccaneers in general. Yeah,
Right. Right. Yeah, I didn't think he had a strong game in this one, but the Bucks as a whole, yes. You know,
yeah. Like this we talking about a Super Bowl contending team, and the Colts just aren't. Um, you know.
yeah, I think they lost that game really the turnovers. There was a fumble, I think, and I think Wentz, threw an interception that kind of changed the game. But then I think the obvious was Jonathan Taylor, who was tearing it up the previous week, wasn't tearing it up this week, and it's as if they forgot the dude was on his team. It's like, bruh.
Well, I will say, and I don't know the how many touches he had, but they do. I know the league widely considers Tampa Bay to be one of the better rushing defensive teams in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that they shouldn't have given him the ball. I'm just saying I don't
Mm-hmm.
know how many touches he had, but I would imagine that game planning was kind of against that in this game for that respect. That Tampa Bay is one of the better rushing defenses in the league.
Yeah, that I agree with. They are at the top of that list when it comes to stopping a run. I just think if you got the leading
Yeah,
rusher,
yeah.
you gotta let that guy go. I don't care if it's the number one defense or the number 32 defense. You
I
gotta let
mean,
that
well,
guy
but for
go.
you to I mean, before you to say that, I mean, they were in the lead for a lot of the game. I mean,
Yeah.
I I can't really hate on the game plan. When they were going
Mm-hmm.
blow for blow with with the Super Bowl champs. So I mean, I can't sit here and say the game plan was bad. I mean, I think any running back of that ilk, you want to get
Yeah.
him the ball as much as you can as it permits per your game plan. But
Mm-hmm.
I can't sit here and pretend like I mean I know that they were going stride for stride and were in the lead for a lot of that game.
10-point lead for the most part. Like I said, the turnovers is what got the Bucks back in it. They actually took a lead,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then Jonathan Taylor, who I think got like I don't know 8 touches in a row on that drive that tied it up at I think what 31-31 I think it was, and I'm kind of looking at Debbie like they, this man should have been like getting the ball a lot more in the beginning. I know they were took a lead, but maybe him touching the ball a lot more maybe minimizes those turnovers. Who knows?
yeah, yeah. I tell you
Um,
what, man, Debbie becoming your Ernestine, man.
uh, Ernestine, that's funny. That's Skip's wife, right?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, yeah. He talks about her a lot. It's funny. I forgot what platform I heard him say this on, but or maybe it was Stephen A. Smith talking about him on Hot 97 when he was on Ebro show one day. But he basically said that Skip told him one time that he had to tell his wife, "Hey, I love this sports stuff so much. Like that's number one for me. You don't come before my sports." Like he literally said that he told his wife that you don't come first before my sports. And I was like,
Kind of gotta respect it.
it's
Kind
like,
of gotta
damn.
respect the honesty.
I was like, damn, yeah, yeah, and that was the first thing I thought about. Like, damn, like he's
Yeah, you
honest,
gotta
but
respect the honesty,
he honest,
man.
but
And
mm,
she cool with it.
well, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
their married, their union, that their look, man. I ain't nobody to judge nobody union, man. Their union works
yep,
that way,
yep, yep, and if
and you
she,
can either or you can get down or lay down.
I was about to say, and if she wasn't down with it, then he was gonna find
And she can
somebody
go
else.
somewhere. And she can go somewhere else. Yeah, she can
He,
go find what she's looking for.
she can go
I,
find some
I
place
respect
where
it.
she can go find somewhere where she can be number one, and Skip can find somebody else that can be number two.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm trying. I kind of feel that way, man. I felt like I was going to be in a committed relationship. I mean, you know, me and you talked about it, you know, when it was going on, and
Mm-hmm.
nah, man. Am I really going to put, you know, slow the stuff I'm doing for that?
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
And it's not to say you're gonna sabotage it or anything like that. Like you know,
Well,
I,
but in so many ways, and I know that's not the case in your dynamic, but
mm-hmm,
in so many ways, I would find myself putting my career above my relationship, man.
mm-hmm,
And you know, somebody would have to understand that.
mm-hmm. I get
You
it.
know, that's just
I get it.
yeah, that's just what it just is what it is, and at the level that I'm trying to do it, and at the level that Skip does it, I mean, you kind of
Mm-hmm.
gotta understand it. I mean, that brand raking in millions of dollars a year
Yeah.
to care that much about sports. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Oh yeah. Yeah. No question about it, man. But I respect everybody's relationship and everybody's dynamics and things like that. Some things work for some people. Some things work differently for other people. I think the key thing.
for all we know,
Go ahead.
now I was saying for all we know, that relationship is just fine, man. And
Mm-hmm.
he said what he said, and
Mm-hmm.
that relationship or feels how he feels, and that relationship is just fine.
Yeah. Number one thing is happiness, right? As long as
Number one
both
thing is
is.
happiness.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So, kind of getting back to me and Debbie watching football on Sunday. We watched the Bengals and the Steelers on Sunday. Tried to
Yeah.
pay it. I tried to pay attention to a lot of the game, and then Roethlisberger threw that pick six right after Burrow gave it up, and I was like, all right, I think I'm gonna turn to something else. This isn't interesting anymore. Even though I loved seeing what I was seeing, it just didn't get. It got boring after that. So, man, what a ass kicking by the Bengals, bro.
I saw a tweet Sunday morning that said that this game would be the official torch passing of, with the Joe Burrow coming in. That team is young. They're looking like they're ready to take over things. It's
Yeah,
kind of going to be a pass torch, and
like a
um, it,
coronation
it
of
yeah of the Bengals being the
dominance
Bengals
over
being.
Pittsburgh or something crazy like that.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. I mean, if somebody didn't know or wouldn't say that Joe Burrow's a better quarterback because of Ben Roethlisberger's history and those types of things,
mm-hmm,
that this was kind of that game that was like, I'm here now. Um,
mm-hmm.
and it's time to send your old ass into the dust somewhere to go retire. This was Trey. I ain't gonna lie, and I guess I'm gonna overreact. I can't even say it's overreacting. This is the worst loss I've ever seen in my life. That I've seen with my physical two eyes. This is
Mm-hmm.
the worst loss I've ever seen in my life. And
Worse than the Eagles. What was that? 2000. Can't think of that. It was the Eagles game where Sproles came out the backfield and was streaking down
oh, there was
the
34. That
sideline.
was 34. That was a 34-3 game.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
no, yeah, this was worse. This was worse.
Mm.
And it was worse because it's the Bengals one.
Yep.
Two is the Bengals. And three is the Bengals.
Cincinnati Bengals.
it's the Bengals. I mean, let's be clear.
Yep.
I don't know if Ben Roethlisberger up until last year had two losses against the Browns and maybe like the 4 or 5 against the Bengals. Like
The
he
dominance.
generally dominates both of those teams,
Mm-hmm.
and to see that in the past, let's say 16, 17 games, we've lost to the Browns 2 or 3 times. We've lost to the Bengals 2 or 3 times.
Yep.
It's officially here.
Yep.
We are officially in rebuild mode. And I knew, and let's be clear, we knew what was going to happen. I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
knew Ben Roethlisberger was going to retire, and Pouncey retired, and DeCastro retired, and all. We knew that we were going to see, see a
Yeah.
downslide in production. But this here, if this ain't, this is the word. This is like. I mean, nobody thinks we're gonna have a winning record at this point. Uh, like
That's a gauntlet
we're
of a
really,
schedule, bro.
yeah. Well, it's the gauntlet of the schedule, yes, but it's the we've been playing.
Yeah.
Pretty much all year. And I know we've gotten wins in lieu of bad football play,
Mm-hmm.
but we have not been a good team all year, man. And it's kind of come to a head with this ass whipping. This was a special ass whipping. This was like they was dancing. Mike Hilton, who we wanted to pay, or
I didn't even know
to
he
get
was on
that
the
pick
Bengals.
six. Yeah, we talked about it in the summer.
Did we?
We talked about it. Yeah, we
I
talked about it
must
in the
have
summer.
forgot or something, but they
Yeah,
were
we talked about
saying,
it in the summer.
"Oh, we got one against his old team." I was like, "Oh snap!
Yeah,
He's in Cincinnati now." Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
we definitely talked about it, and it's all of those things. I mean, the T Higgins touchdown where James Pierre just looked ridiculous and out of place. Like,
Yeah.
is these Joe Mixon, who by the way is a good running back,
Mm-hmm.
but he ain't never went like that against us, man.
Are you talking about the touchdown where he's throwing to the right side of the field? Was that the one where
The T Higgins touchdown, yeah.
I don't? Because you said he looked out of place, but watching it
James
maybe.
Pierre was out of place. He over pursued.
Excuse me. I don't know. Maybe I got to go back and look again. But in live, watching it live, it looked like good defense there. It's just T. Higgins was just the better dude to go up
No,
and
he
get
was.
it.
His head was behind his helmet was behind the receiving hands of T Higgins with his hands up in the air.
Okay, I got to watch it again then
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it looked because when that ball was getting there, that it didn't look like a touchdown. I'll leave it at that. It didn't look like it was going to get completed, but T. Higgins made an unbelievable, grab on the ball there. And the
But
Bengals, I mean, they just kind of did what they wanted. I mean, the first
ain't no
what
kind
five,
of.
six possessions, they was doing what they wanted to do.
This was a complete domination. I mean, I don't even want to pretend like I want to go through that game with a fine tooth comb. It was an ass whipping from whistle blow to triple zeros. It was an ass whipping, and it ain't no nothing. I mean, we got now all the Chase Claypool comments about we need to play music to make our practices go better, and Minka Fitzpatrick talking about our practices need to be need to be better, and Cam Hayward responding to Chase Claypool's comments about the radio, and like it's
Mm-hmm.
now all the drama per se, all the locker room banter is starting to come out into media because we are that bad at this point. It's that stage of
Yeah.
we're at that stage of football where the locker room headlines are more important than what we're doing on the field. It's a nasty time, and I hope that we can get an offensive line together in the draft and get a quarterback, but as soon as next season, because I'm not used to this.
2 words: Russell Wilson. He might be.
Another two words. Aaron Rodgers.
He might be.
Hell, hey Trey. Hell, at this stage,
Mhm.
Jimmy Garoppolo. At this stage, like anybody at this stage,
I
bruh,
was gonna say.
anybody.
I was gonna say if things go right, Deshaun Watson. If things go right, maybe
Anybody.
maybe that's a possibility.
And
Those three guys might be on different teams next year. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
Those three guys, Deshaun, Aaron Rodgers, and Russell Wilson, they might be on different teams next year.
Like I said, I'm even hearing Jimmy Garoppolo toss. I've been hearing it all year.
Well, yeah, that's true because they
not
drafted,
necessarily being with Pittsburgh, but just Jimmy Garoppolo not being the quarterback in San
That's
Fran.
true. That's true because Trey Lance is there, and we still got to get his shine. So definitely. Hey, I hate to bring this up too, and I know I posted this on the gram on Sunday, but that jacket that Joe Burrow wore at the press conference that said black owned on it, I was trying to figure out who that black owned company was, and I found out that it's a company called Black Owned 19XX.com, based out of Cincinnati. The jacket price $165 for that jacket. Not that I'm buying it because I hate the Bengals. But it black owned, bro. That's the only reason I'm bringing this up is because it's a black owned company that's doing some things with the jacket and doing it with some other products out there. That's the only reason I'm bringing this up.
If you expected, well, shout out to them. But if you expected me to be mature about anything that's Cincinnati right now, I ain't there right now. Fuck them and that jacket.
Oh, okay. I can't
Sure.
crap. I can't crap on no black owned business, bro. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it, bro.
I don't know what you want me to add. Sure, more power to you. You didn't just get your ass with 41-3. I'm not.
If anything, we hate the Bengals on this side. We hate we hate anything that has to do with that franchise.
Please tell me you would have that same energy when when the Baltimore Ravens suffer the worst loss that you've ever seen with your own two eyes. Have that same energy.
You might be right, bro. I'm just saying the dude had on a black owned jacket and that
flying fuck.
That black owned company deserves some props. That's the only thing that's getting props in this conversation. I don't care about the Bengals. I don't care about
you
the
can
Bengals
do that.
right
you
now.
can do that. Fuck them. Fuck them, respectfully.
So the black owned company or
yes, them.
Oh, them too?
Respectfully.
Them
too. They them. I don't care about the jacket.
There's no respect. There's no respect. You don't have to say respectfully because there's no respect.
No, I mean respectfully because because obviously I'm joking, but fuck them.
What else you got, man? What else you got?
I don't know. Hey, man. Look, man. I don't want to. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to talk about football. I'm done with. I'm done. I am footballed out. I cut that game off halftime and watched Power and cut my music back. I cut my music off to watch the game. Seen the ass whooping by halftime. I had I watched Power, had music back on, and finished doing what I needed to do in the house. Man, I was done.
So
I mean,
at no point during that ass kicking did you turn that game back on once it was 31-3? You didn't turn the game back on?
Nope.
Interesting.
That's how bad it was. That's
I feel you. And here's the reason why I'm bringing this up. Because the week before, when it looked like the Chargers was about to have a convincing, decisive win, granted it wasn't an ass whooping, but it was leaning more towards a convincing win. The Chargers they were charging, and everybody knows what I mean. Everybody knows what I mean when I say that.
But we still had things going for us. Like it wasn't like we was losing, we was getting an ass whooping, but you could feel the energy on what what was happening. Like I mean, literally, the only positive play I could think of in that game
Mm,
was the bomb that been through the Chase Claypool early in the game that they couldn't,
yeah.
and T.J. Watt roughing up Joe Burrow after
Hmm.
a pick.
Right. Right. Yeah. Well, and again, I think those two games went totally different, despite them both resulting in losses. I think they went totally
yeah.
different, but I'm surprised to hear you say you turned the game off and
Like
it didn't
this
even
is
go
steps away
back.
from rock bottom. This is
Yeah.
steps away from rock bottom.
No, I
This
feel
is
you.
steps away from that.
I feel you. I'm just surprised you didn't at some point take a peek back into the game to see, okay, what's going on, because a turnover or two changes, everything. Not everything, but
Yeah.
that's a change in momentum for the team that's
I'm
losing. So
comfortable. Yeah, see, we got a turnover and then gave him the ball right back.
I know, I know,
It's just,
I know,
it's this the
I know.
I'm not ashamed in that. Sometimes you just gotta know, that this ain't y'all day, and do something else. I went and did something else.
Yeah,
I just went and did something else.
more so the second half there might have been a play, because again I turned it off because I'm just looking around for some other games that was more compelling, and there really wasn't much except Colts and the Buccaneers. That ended up
Well, I
being a
would have
close
loved to have been
game.
wrong. I tell you that. I wish I was wrong and that we actually came back and made it a respectable game, or even
Yeah.
better one. But like I said, I saw the energy on that field. They wasn't prepared to do that.
Hmm.
They just wasn't. They
Yeah.
just wasn't.
Yeah. So the Ravens on Sunday night, 16-10 win. Um, I'm not going to get into all the logistics about the game. I'm going to just say this, and I know in the back of my mind that Lamar is going to be taken care of from a contractual perspective, but I got to say, a side of me is a little worried for Lamar, man. That was that that was a terrible 2 minutes, final 2 minutes in the second half against Cleveland. Three interceptions within a matter of 2-3 minutes, and that game could have easily been lost. It just so happens that Baker Mayfield, couldn't capitalize on the opportunities, and for some reason the Browns decided to not use Kareem Hunt a lot more than they should have, in my opinion. But I'm worried for Lamar in the sense that he hasn't gotten his money yet. There's still talks and negotiations and things like that. And the numbers for Lamar, 12 interceptions, 15 touchdowns thrown. I know he's got a few running touchdowns this season, but I'm just worried that he's not going to get the bag that you know, like kind of how Josh Allen kind of set the market for Lamar Jackson. Like I feel like at some point, if this play continues, and it's not just this game, it's been other games where he's been a little pedestrian, maybe not as worse as toward the second end of the second half against Cleveland, but I'm just worried that he's not going to be able to get that market setting contract the way Josh Allen got his contract. Like that particular deal is supposed to set the market for Lamar. And I guess Baker, but I'm not sure if Baker's going to be able to get, Josh Allen money or not. But I'm worried that Lamar is not going to get Josh Allen money.
One thing that remains to be the same even in the midst of this bad game, and maybe he hasn't been quite MVP caliber for a couple of weeks, I guess.
Yeah. Missed the game in
He's still
Chicago last week, too.
yeah. I mean, he's still the top 5 quarterback in the league right now. Whether I think that's. I'm confident. I'm confident in that, right?
I'm in agreement. He
Uh,
is still top
well,
five.
let me kind of Brady, Aaron,
Brady, Rogers,
uh,
Burrow. I guess you got to put Burrow there, right?
hold on, Mahomes. I'm not going to put Burrow there before I put Mahomes there
Okay,
though.
sure.
Mahomes. Um,
I
I
mean,
mean, and
I
then
think four
would
and
you put Burrow?
five.
Would you put Burrow?
Yeah,
Dak. I'm sorry, Dak is four.
okay.
Dak is four. And then yeah,
I
it's
mean,
got to be Lamar
I
there.
think you. I
It's
mean,
got to be
sure.
Lamar there.
I think you can. I think you can rotate 4 and 5. I know you put Dak there, and I kind of agree. Dak is still in my MVP top 3 MVP, but I'm looking at guys like Burrow. Um, I'm looking at a guy like
Yeah, I'm not. Burrow had a good game, but I can't even put Burrow over Herbert yet. I can't do that.
really. I don't.
Not
I
yet.
don't. I don't
Not
know,
yet.
man. I don't know.
Not yet.
I don't know.
Not yet.
I mean, are those two You think those two quarterbacks, Herbert and Burrow? You think they're miles apart from each other?
No, I'm just saying Herbert's better right now.
Okay, that's interesting. Because I think both guys got like great arms. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, I'm just saying Herbert's better right now.
Okay.
Herbert definitely has better tape, a better resume on tape because Burrow got injured his rookie year.
Sure, sure. No, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's definitely Herbert.
I mean,
It's
that
definitely Herbert.
no, that makes sense. But I'm just looking at. I guess I'm looking at how the teams are performing, and Burrow didn't have a good outing against Denver on Sunday. Joe Burrow the last few weeks, not gaudy numbers, and I forgot to mention that earlier when we were talking about the game, but Burrow hasn't necessarily lit it up in the past 2 games. He's had under 200 yards throwing, but Joe Mixon has kind of been, that dude from Cincinnati in the past couple of weeks. But I think overall, this season up to this point, if I had to choose between those two guys, I personally would pick Burrow.
No, yeah, nah. Burrow got a better team around him.
That's a fact too. That's a fact too.
He just got a better team.
He's got weapons and he's got a running back. I don't even know who.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I'm
Eckler.
not gonna say no. They got Eckler. They do have a running back, but Eckler ain't quite Joe Mixon.
I agree with. I agree
no
with.
shade to Eckler, but he ain't quite Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon, number 4 in the league rushing. Like he one of them.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon is one of them.
If I had to pick, I would pick. Obviously, Jamar Chase is the better receiver of the two teams. Wide receivers, I would pick Jamar Chase number 1.
And his rookie, I would say upside wise, yeah, but I'm not going to disrespect Keenan Allen.
But I'm talking about this year. I'm talking about this year.
Okay.
Obviously, Keenan Allen is the veteran, still good, still can do it at a high level. But just for this season alone, I mean, Jamar Chase is the better. Jamar Chase is the better guy. I would go Keenan Allen.
He's performing better.
He's
performing better.
Sure. And I would go Keenan Allen. I would pick Keenan Allen after Jamar Chase, and then after that, I mean, it's a toss up between. Well, no, I'm not gonna say toss up. I'm picking T. Higgins.
Does Mike Williams? I'm picking Mike Williams.
You picking Mike Williams? Okay. I mean, I got no argument over that, but like you said, the Bengals got better weapons, so I'll go T. Higgins third, and then maybe I'll get Mike Williams right after that. So, I mean, I think that talent between those two teams, it's closer than I think we think, but...
Nah, well, because, I don't know, because that tight end in Cincinnati like that, he's Uzo, but whatever his name is, then you still got Tyler Boyd that's doing his thing, and Tyler Boyd is still balling.
Who's the Chargers tight end? Is it Jared Cook?
Jared Cook, yeah.
Jared Cook, yeah, he's a vet.
Yeah, and he's just there. He's just there, though.
Yeah.
If we're talking about this year.
Yeah. I got you. How much in that game last night did you watch?
What? I didn't watch any of it.
See,
Redskins in Seattle.
yeah,
Football team in Seattle.
yeah,
I ain't watch that shit.
yeah.
I wasn't interested. I was. I going to fantasy. I got Russell Wilson and I'm sorry. I don't got Russell Wilson. Yes, I did. I did. I took out Tua to put Russell in
Yeah.
and have him go. And I had Russell in and Metcalf in.
Yep.
And I'm living my life on Monday yesterday, and I realized that a headline come up on Bleacher Report that it don't even look like Russell Wilson looking DK Metcalf way. It's like, come on, bruh.
Yeah, I heard some talk about that. I mean, did that have something to do with what what the football team was doing in terms of coverage or something?
I didn't watch the game. But I don't care what they doing. Ain't no. I'm sorry. There's no cornerback on the football team that when it really comes down to it can cover DK Metcalf.
Which is not the strength of their team, of their defense, by the way. I should say.
It's like when it comes down to it, if it's between DK Metcalf and with Russell Wilson throwing in the ball, you can line up any cornerback you want.
Yep.
And I'm taking DK Metcalf. You can line up any cornerback you want. And okay, maybe they was doubling him with the safety. You're not gonna tell me that they couldn't move him around.
Yeah.
And there's ways to get around it. So I don't know. I don't know if there's something real going on. I know that my fantasy game was fucked. Because very clearly they wasn't interested in throwing the ball or getting it to DK Metcalf.
Yeah, I lost my fantasy matchup by 2 points because my opposition had Lockett, who was the guy for Seattle last night, and who's the tight end for the football team? Logan Thomas.
Is it Logan Thomas?
I think it's Logan Thomas. Yeah, he had Logan Thomas in his lineup, and he scored a touchdown. No. I take that back. He had a touchdown taken back, but he had 3 fantasy points. But again, I lost by 2 points, and now my fantasy football season. I think at this point it's over, bruh. At 5-6-1. My season is officially done, bruh.
I'm about one loss away, bruh. So
yeah, but you tied for the top of your division, though.
Oh, yeah, you know better than me. I don't even look at standings.
You tied for the top, man. So you still got a chance. I got no chance, bruh.
Yeah.
Shout out to your nephew because he's got me by 2.5 games.
One of them little motherfuckers have a good year every single year. One out of two of them.
Absolutely, bro. But hey, that's what we want. We want people that's gonna play. Actually, you know what I mean? These two young cats, they come in.
They take it serious. They definitely take it serious.
Exactly. Unlike somebody we know, but I'm not gonna go there. But so I don't know how interesting this is to you. So I was in and out of the game. Actually, the game was watching me at one point, even in the second quarter, because it was really a boring game. But one of the interesting things I found out about this game was the coverage that ESPN was doing on the game. Normally, they'll have the crew out to the stadium. They do shots. They talking to the players. They're outside the stadium, showing the fans and all that stuff. So I'm on Twitter, and I find out that there's a couple of ladies that used to work for the football team were having a protest outside of FedEx Field right before the game started. Yeah. A couple of females used to work for the team. They had T-shirts made, #release the report, which we and I both know that has to do with the investigation of the football team. So I'm looking at this on Twitter, and it was some guy, I forget the guy's name. I think he's like a journalist locally in the area. But then I got to thinking, I'm like, you know what? that's probably why they ain't got the crew out there. Talking about the ESPN crew, they was back in the studio, covering the game and stuff. And I'm like, you know what? That's probably why they in the studio. That's probably why they're kind of covering this, pregame stuff, a little differently because, and it wouldn't shock me if the NFL came down and told the network, yo, like, y'all can't be talking too much about the football team and the investigation and all that stuff. So,
Right.
oh, see, now they're knocking on the door here. Let's see what this is. Oh, thanks. Oh, see. Hey guys. So
Father time.
So that's when my family's great, man. I'm over here coughing and stuff, and she bring me a nice, hot cup of tea. That's man.
Hey man, the pros of marriage.
Man, family's everything, bruh.
The Ernestine, man.
Family is man. Gotta love them, man. Gotta love them. What was I talking about?
One time for Ernestine. You was talking about the protest in FedEx Field.
Yes. So yeah, it wouldn't shock me if the league told the network to lighten up on the coverage of the game because they were aware that these ladies, and I think they got more people to join in on the protest. I think there were a few more ladies that used to work for the organization out there also, and there were fans out there. I don't know what their allegiance was, but I mean, they had a nice crowd of people protesting that the league release the findings of the report and all that stuff. I think you had like a couple of local media outlets, do a little bit of coverage. Like I think somebody from Channel 7 was out there covering it a little bit. I think they had somebody from the other net station doing it. But in my opinion, I think the league told the network lighten up on the coverage of the game because they don't want the story to be about the report of the investigation of the football team. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. I actually retweeted what the guy, posted. He had pictures of the women out there outside the stadium, and I tagged him and I said, look, man, this deserves a lot more coverage, than it's getting. I mean, I wouldn't even known it, had it not for me just scrolling on Twitter.
Yeah, we need to holler at them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See if they want to talk about it.
Yeah. I would, man, great minds think alike. I was just sitting there thinking maybe I should reach out to one of the females and see if they want to come on and kind of, talk about the experience and talk about, the movement and trying to, make sure that their voices get heard and that their movement, gets more notoriety. Because, that kind of stuff deserves that. You know what I'm saying? But, the league had other plans. And I think they realized on a national game Monday night, had they been covering that it would have gotten more steam and it would have been something that the league
it could have blown up to be something. It could have blown up to be something we might not be talking about football.
Exactly.
Especially with the way it seemed that game turned out. It didn't seem like it was an eventful game. So
nah. And
I
by
heard
the
why
way,
they performed at halftime.
And by the way, there was another plumbing issue at the stadium. Somebody posted a picture of water coming down, and I think it was in one of not the press box, but in one of the suites. There was water coming down from above. So,
wow.
Bruh, I don't know. Someone said that Snyder maybe is trying to get another stadium, which I've heard in the past. He was trying to get a stadium built in D.C., so maybe this is just him just kind of saying, hey, look, our stadium's messed up. Like, can we get another stadium someplace, particularly in D.C.? Can we do that? I don't know, but at that place...
I don't know neither, bro.
That place just seems like a mess, bro.
Yep. So sad. So sad.
Yeah, man. Hashtag sell the football team.
Sell the football team because clearly they do not care. Clearly they just doing whatever, man. They just doing whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Did we talk about the Panthers?
Yeah, Cam didn't have a good game.
Oh, just basically, yeah. I feel like we didn't. He got benched.
Yes.
Let's just say what it was. All right, we talked about it. Ain't no need to rehash it, but he definitely got benched and I don't like. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say this.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear that they're not committed to him being that transition quarterback that I would have liked him to be until they found their franchise quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear they're not committed to that for them to bench him for PJ Walker.
Yeah, you might have a point there. So does that mean he's benched for good? Like he's not going to play?
No, they're going to play him next week, I'm sure.
Okay.
But that's him. That's who he is. And PJ Walker came in and did what? Let him hold his bad game.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still your best option. Stop trying to play him like he's not your best option. PJ Walker is not your best option.
Yeah, I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
With respect to PJ Walker.
Yeah, no question. But I just thought that Cam, I just thought the team would be more galvanized because of his presence. I mean, I said that when they played the Cardinals.
2 games.
And yeah, I mean against beatable teams like that, just But I think it just shows where Carolina is at, and Carolina, like we thought, was not going to be a very good team this year. So
yeah.
So
and shit, they still got Sam Darnold on this team when he gets healthy, huh?
Right. It's still but like I said before, you might have 3 of these quarterbacks switch teams in the offseason. And maybe the Panthers might be one of those teams that might be in on one of those 3 quarterbacks.
Well, let's be clear. Cam Newton is going. So you think Cam Newton is going before Sam Darnold? I feel like we had this conversation when Cam got signed.
Yeah, I think. Sam Darnold, and I know you said that the sample size is not big enough for Sam Darnold and what he's done for them at this point, but to me, he is who he is.
But more than that, Trey, the Cam Newton contract is easy to get rid of.
Yes, it is. And yes, they gave up a 2nd, a 4th, and a 6th for Sam Darnold.
They're not getting rid of Sam Darnold.
Well, I don't know about that. Because ever since this guy Tepper bought the team, it seems like this dude is impatient. I mean, 1 year they sticks it out with Cam, and then they let Rivera walk before the season goes, and then they said when they're moving on from Cam. Then they pick up Teddy Bridgewater, who is supposed to be a stopgap, and I thought he had a really good season. It's just they had injuries, and then they said, "Oh, let's get Sam Darnold. Let's get a guy who hasn't proven to be a good quarterback, who's had injury issues, and let's give up 3 draft picks for the dude." And he's kind of shown you, and even in a small sample size, he's shown you the same thing that he's been in New York.
Except you gave up so much for him, and you signed him to a contract.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean unfortunately, even if you believe, which even for both of us who believe that Cam Newton is a better quarterback at this stage than Sam Darnold, I would imagine that Cam Newton gonna be here for the year and he's gonna be gone.
They gave Darnold an extension after the trade?
I thought he had 3 years.
How many years he was with the Jets? 3?
Yeah.
No, yeah, right. You're right. Right. Because he's in the same draft as Lamar. That's right. Yeah. So 3 years in New York. So he either has a 4th or a 5th year option.
Or fifth year option.
Okay.
I thought they gave him. I was under the, and obviously I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he could at least be there for 3 years.
To
prove himself.
Okay, yeah, I think so. This year is the 4th year, and I don't know if this is like the option year or this is the end of his rookie contract. But either way, he has.
But I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry not to cut you off. I will say this. Even if emphatically he's still on his rookie contract with no extensions, they still gave away a lot of stock.
Agree.
Yeah.
And they don't want to admit that they made a mistake, and the way to do that would be to move on from him. So yeah, I could see some pride in the organization saying, hey, let's not, give up on him yet. He's, we gave up this much to get him. Let's see what he's got in his 5th year in the league.
Yeah, I don't think you get rid of a guy after one season after you've given up so much for him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if that's pride. I just think that's vetting out the process.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, one more year. I mean, at the very least, one more year after this one.
Yeah.
And then they got to decide what they want to do. But I've noticed that since this guy is on the team, he's made some very, I would say impatient moves at the quarterback spot. So it wouldn't surprise me if he moved on from Darnold after this season's over. It wouldn't surprise me, but I do understand, throwing in the towel if you get rid of him. That's a sign that's saying, hey, you made the wrong move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think they hold on to him now. But yeah.
I don't know how much of this story you know. The city of St. Louis settles for about 700 and I think the figure was like $760 million with the NFL for the relocation of the Rams to Los Angeles. I'm not sure if you knew anything about that. That was an actual lawsuit that the city of St. Louis filed against the league and the Rams. And so, I don't have much details on it except that it appears to me that they were promised that they were going to build a stadium to keep the Rams in St. Louis, and yet it turns out that the owner of the Rams kind of used that as some form of a leverage to, make the move to LA, go down. So I guess the city was like, nah, why you moving the team, or you taking the team away from us? Nah, we got to get, some kind of compensation for that. So
they won $760 million. Is that what you're saying?
$760 million is what they won. And some people argue that they settled and that they kind of took the easy way out, and that they could have exposed the league more had they kind of pushed this a little bit further. They could have. They're saying they could have got maybe in the range of like $900 million and really kind of stick it to the league. But I think when you lose that, I think when you risk it and that money is just there, for the taking, I think the city said, nah, let's just take the 760 and do what we got to do. The
$760 million ain't no poo poo money.
In my world, it's not. But we
I
talking
can't imagine
about
$760 million being poo poo money in their world. And talking about 760 that
I can. You're talking about politicians. You're talking about city officials. You're talking about billionaire people.
It's not many billionaires. 700. I mean, you recognize.
Or I should say millionaires. I should say millionaires, not billionaires. Okay,
about to say you recognize 760 million is 76% of a billion.
Yes,
that's a lot. A big percentage of a billion.
No, and again, in my perspective and in my in my lifestyle, that's a lot of money. I think in majority of the world's lifestyle. Yes.
Yeah, you talking about the 1%. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
But if we're talking about people in positions of power, politicians, city officials, to me it sounds like
no city officials making that kind of money.
It's a different ball game. I would hope not.
I
would hope not, but you just never know with these things sometimes. So, and again, some people thought the city settled, for less than
Yeah,
what many
I
people thought
get.
they could have got. So maybe by
Yeah, I get it when you're
principle,
talking about.
hmm
Yeah, I get when you're talking about when you're talking about money going to a city.
yeah,
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
hmm
But I don't know about a whole bunch of billion-dollar projects going on in government. I don't know about I
hmm
don't know about a whole bunch of billion-dollar projects outside of obviously stadiums.
stadiums, yep,
Um,
hmm
yeah, I mean, I shit, I can't
yeah,
really think of many.
yeah. I mean, and I'm surprised, but people in St. Louis are pissed that the team left. Like, I'm surprised that there were a lot of folks. Like it's not like when the Browns left Cleveland. Like that was a big like controversy there. But I'm surprised that people were upset. I mean, and I guess because they won a Super Bowl, I guess that could be
Well, I would
a
imagine that
reason.
but I would imagine backlash from any team, any city that has a team
hmm
that's taken from them. I mean, like you said, obviously not at the ilk of
hmm
the dog pound back in the day,
Right.
but any team that lose, like the Seattle SuperSonics,
Yep.
they were upset. That city was upset about losing their basketball team.
Yep.
Like I would imagine
Yeah.
any team that had a basketball team that was or a sports team that was taken away from them,
hmm
not just the fans but the government, because
Yep.
that state government is now losing, income for their, for
And
their city.
businesses and
So
local businesses in the areas of those stadiums. Yeah.
there's no city that's going to be happy about losing a sports team in
Yeah.
general.
That we
So
agree
I mean,
with.
yeah. So
I
I
think.
mean, it's not surprising. It's not surprising that St. Louis would be that upset, and it's not surprising that would be the kind of amount. I'm like they saying that they could have got more than 760 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yep.
I get it. I mean, when you think about what teams are worth nowadays,
hmm
you know, I would imagine that 760 million is somewhere in the mean of what football teams are worth. I mean, hell, you talking about some of the top teams. The top teams is
I was gonna
what,
say the top
like
teams is
Dallas
in the
is,
billions. The top teams are in the
right?
billions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So I would imagine like the average teams are somewhere in that,
hmm
750, 5 to 750 range. I would
Yep.
imagine that that's what an average team is about worth.
And I also understand from the St. Louis fans' perspective, right? So think about this. That team had about 10 straight losing seasons, I want to say, before they left to go to Los Angeles. And some people accuse the team of quote unquote tanking or sucking on purpose just to get out of that particular city. And in the case of St.
Yeah,
Louis, some people have done that. And when I think about something like that, I think about when the New Jersey Nets left New Jersey to come to Brooklyn. The Nets, I remember that one year where the Nets only won 7 games out of 82 games that one year, and I think maybe a year or two after that, they weren't a playoff team, but they were still a bad basketball team. They go to Brooklyn, and all of a sudden, they're good.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like those two examples of teams just not playing to win, just to get out of a city to go to someplace else, and all of a sudden, they're operating like they care about winning. So I just thought I'd throw that
Tell
in
me who
there.
Corey. Tell me who Corey Seegers is.
Baseball player. Understand got a contract with the Rangers earlier today or yesterday, something like that.
Well, I say that to say,
Mm-hmm.
my what am I saying? My history of 10-year contracts goes to the likes of people of Albert Pujols and
A Rod,
A Rod.
Robinson
Like
Cano.
the time that right. So where was missing me is I ain't never heard of this dude up until he got this 10-year contract. And I don't pretend to be the biggest baseball fan,
Mm-hmm.
but I know I've never heard this dude's name up until he just got this 10-year contract. And congratulations to him, by the way. But I don't even know who this dude is.
So Corey Seager's stat. Okay, so that's how I know him, the Dodgers. And I was trying to think of the team that he was on. So Dodgers for the past 7 seasons, his career average is 297. So that's pretty damn good.
That's good.
That's pretty damn good. So again, 7 years, 394. Is this 394 runs or home runs? But I mean, if you're batting 297 for your career,
that's good. Yeah,
in
that's
7
good.
years, then that's pretty
Yeah.
damn good. Okay, 104 home runs on his career so far. So, hey.
So it sounds like you didn't know who he was either.
Nah. I mean, I've heard his name a few times around.
I mean, heard his name,
circles,
sure,
but didn't realize he was this good. I mean, you looking up and down the Dodgers lineup. I mean, they got guys, that's better than him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was hard to kind of see, what he really was. But yeah, I can't poo poo on this. If he's got that contract, he's batting 297.
Yeah, sure. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And 297, like you said, is an amazing average. So, yeah.
Last season he batted 306. So
yeah, yeah. I get it.
The contract's warranted.
Yeah.
I can't poo poo on that. Okay, I had enough of baseball talk.
Yep. I just didn't know who he was, and I thought maybe I missed something. I feel like I know who I'm not a baseball fan, super, but I thought I knew who the big guys were. No homo. In the league, I thought who the big wigs were, and so I had never heard of this dude. I was
for the record, the 10 years. I'm fine with the 10 years, given that he's only had 7 years in the league, and he's still relatively a young dude.
Oh, I don't.
When you refer to the A-Rod contracts, the Pujols, those guys were in their 30s when they got those 10-year contracts. So,
right.
With him, I don't have an issue with the years.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Let me get the basketball for a second here, man. So Kemba Walker is gonna be taken out of the rotation from the Knicks. Yeah, man. And it wasn't looking really all that good, man. I mean, I like the story. Kid from Soundview section of the Bronx coming back to play for the hometown team, and he's had a few great games at the Garden as a pro and going back to college in that tournament that one year where he hit a game winner. The storyline was looking so great for Kemba Walker, but man, defensively, the dude is a liability. And I mean, right now he's averaging about 11, 12 points a game, and I hate to say it, but I mean, and it could be injuries, it could be that, but he's done, man. He's not like when he was in Boston, right? When he was in Boston, would you say he was top 10 or top 15?
Maybe 15 being nice.
15, right?
Definitely wasn't top 10.
Right. So I think he's worse than that with the Knicks right now. I think he's much worse than that right now. So I don't know that, and like you said, you're being nice with him being number 15. I don't think he'll ever get to that point again. I just think, he's had 2 stops already to kind of show that he can be, that dude. And it's just really just not working out. And it really could just be that he's no longer that guy he was in Charlotte.
Yeah, that's legitimate.
Yeah.
That's legitimate.
Yeah.
Hey, man, well, I need to give him his flowers right now. Mm-hmm. One time, Steph Curry, man.
The league MVP.
Team,
right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, and I get it. It's early, but and
It's not even
he
close. It's not even
it's
close.
not close. It's not
He's the
close.
league
But
MVP right now.
not just Steph Curry, but the team. Jordan Poole looking crazy right now.
Uh-huh.
Clay ain't even like he. They might have the best G League team right now with Clay Thompson playing in the G League.
Mm-hmm. So, is this team winning the chip in your eyes?
I mean, I don't want to overreact that after 20 games, but it looked like they back, man. Look like they having fun, man. Look
Yeah.
like they back, man. I don't
Yeah.
want to overreact after 20 games, but
What they
it looked like
18
they
and
back.
2? They 18 and 2 right
18
now?
and 2. Yeah.
Man, you know, that
And the
yeah.
Suns right behind them, so let's be
Yeah,
clear.
yeah,
The
yeah.
Suns right behind
And
them.
they play each other tonight too, which I'm not gonna
Yeah. Oh, okay.
watch that game
Yeah, I
because it's
probably
just
don't
gonna
catch
end
that,
late.
yeah.
But yeah, that is a Christmas Day matchup. I want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the schedule makers really did good with that. Yeah, man. Right now, I would have to put them as the front runner for the championship right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
And
I'm not gonna pretend that I've watched a lot of Nets games, but I mean they're
but they
number
on the
one in the
top.
East. They're number one in
Right.
the East right now. But you know, we talked about Kemba getting benched. Blake Griffin is taking the bench role also, or he's being out of the rotation. I guess that's what they're saying. That's the terms they're
Uh-huh.
using. But Blake Griffin is not gonna make or break the Nets. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Right.
You know, really for me, when that dude get back, I still believe that at some point in the season, that dude Kyrie's coming back.
Interesting.
I really believe at some point it's gonna happen. And
But that's based on. But that's under. So you think he gonna get vaccinated?
um
Because the mandate is in New York, so it's not even
yes
like.
yes and yeah
It's not even,
my my thought process with this was always that they're gonna find a way to get him on the court, even if it means if he doesn't get vaccinated, they'll find a way to say, oh yeah, he's vaccinated, wink wink. That they were gonna find a way to
you think they're gonna do the
sneak-
wink after?
I mean that'll be
the Packers got fined.
I mean that'll be speculation by some conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Something tells me that dude is gonna come back and kind of finish what he started to put together a couple of years ago with this team. I just have a hard time believing that a dude that was the ringleader to put this team together is all of a sudden just gonna be like, nah, I'm not. Y'all can have the vaccine. I'm not. I'm not gonna take that. I just think the organization, again, whether he gets the shots or not, somehow, some way, these teams do some stuff. I mean, you brought up the Packers. I mean, they were doing some stuff, well, maybe not the Packers, but Aaron Rodgers himself.
No, the Packers.
Uh-huh.
Packers knew damn well he wasn't vaccinated. The Packers.
Right. And yet they allowed him to not wear a mask at press conferences and things like that. So if an organization like Green Bay is doing some of those things, then I wouldn't put it past a team like the Brooklyn Nets that, there's pressure on the team to win a championship. Right. So, and keep your eye on Milwaukee, man. They just picked up Boogie Cousins. We'll see how that works out.
That don't rattle my cage at all. That don't make me. That don't make me excited about the Milwaukee Bucks. I did want to point out that it seemed like James Harden is struggling this year with all this anti-flop stuff going on.
A lot of players,
but
a lot of players are struggling too. Like I seen Trey Young try to draw fouls, and he can't even draw fouls and stuff like that.
No,
So,
but you gotta understand that is a big part more than anybody in the league.
mm-hmm.
That's a big part of James Harden's game is being able to
Yeah,
draw a foul.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, literally more than anybody in the league is James Harden.
Sure.
Yeah, and
No, I get that.
It seems like he's struggling that way.
I get that part.
Yeah.
But I bring up Trey Young because I've watched some of his games, and I've watched him try to draw stuff also, and they haven't been blowing the whistle on him. So, to the point, yeah, James Harden has definitely struggled with his game. Like, I think his points per game average is, 19, 20 points or something like that.
Know.
So yeah, it's definitely affected his game. Who's the favorite in the East right now, though?
KD's on the Brooklyn Nets. I'm going with KD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, until something changes, but I do think that I think Milwaukee is still a threat, and I think the Heat. I think the Heat's a threat too.
I agree. So, but yeah, KD's in my mind. KD's still KD.
Yep.
If Steph Curry's number one, KD's a strong number two.
Mm-hmm. So we might get a Nets Warriors finals.
I wouldn't be mad at it.
I wouldn't either.
Except for I would love to. I would want Kyrie to be there for that. That's the only thing. But I would want. But besides that, then I'd be there for it. It'd be scoring. It'd be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And even if it's the Lakers too, and the Lakers, they got their own issues.
I don't count on. I don't count on seeing them in the finals this year. I know I said that in the beginning of the year, but I don't count on seeing them in the finals this year.
Yeah. It's not looking good, but I don't want to bet against LeBron.
But LeBron's still there. Yeah, but LeBron's still there.
Yeah. But
getting white folks kicked out of games and shit.
Yeah. And deservedly so. Did you hear reportedly what that woman said? She said that that she hopes Bronny dies or something like that. And I was like, "Oh yeah. Yeah, get her ass up out of there." If that is true, then yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild as shit.
Get her ass
That's wild
up
as shit.
Yeah.
That's wild as shit.
Not surprising though.
I mean, courtside liquor, white people
in Indiana, by the way. So
yeah,
yes, not surprising, but yeah, LeBron had every right to get her up out of there.
I like that LeBron is exercising his benefits as being the best player in the league, the face of the league.
Mm-hmm.
I like that he's exercising his power as being the face of the league right now.
Yep. Hey, back to football for a minute, and this is my last topic here. Disappointments in the AFC. The most disappointing team in the AFC, in your opinion. I know you're gonna say probably Pittsburgh. That's probably the most disappointing in the AFC.
To me, it's hard for me to look. I mean, if you're asking me to look past Pittsburgh, I really can't after that loss, bro. I really can't look past Pittsburgh right now with that loss, bro. I can't do it. That I am not okay, as they say in the mental health world. I'm not okay, bro. That that ass whipping was a crucial one. I can't even get my words together. That was a good that's the ass whippers we supposed to be putting on teams, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, yeah, y'all definitely a disappointment. I mean that's no question there.
Maybe not the biggest point league wide, or AFC wide, but I can't get over that right now. I just can't look past that right now.
Okay, so just for conversation, I'm gonna pick the Dolphins as the most disappointing in the AFC, considering what they did last year. I mean, they won 10 games. They didn't make the playoffs because of
They 4 straight right now, though.
They're four straight games, and I gotta tell you, bruh, and I've kind of hopped off the Miami train after them losing to the Falcons, and I think they lost to the Jaguars back-to-back weeks. Prior to that, I actually gave them a shot, even with like the one, I think it was a 1-4, 1-5 start. And I was looking at the schedule and I said, yo, they got an easy schedule down the stretch. But after those two losses, I kind of was like, yeah, I can't deal with y'all. But you're right. They won 4 straight. And if they continue to, play this way, and I think the defense is part of the big reason why why they've won 4 straight. The defense has definitely stepped up.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, as I said, I can't put them in a disappointment category when the moment we mentioned them in a disappointment category, they won 4 straight.
I understand that. What are they? 5-7? What are they? 4-7, 5-7, something like that.
Something like that.
I certainly wasn't expecting them to be that after 12 games. But I'll say this though, if they keep playing like this, Giants next, Jets next. After that, a Saints team that's spiraling downward, a Titans team that's spiraling downward, and then the Patriots to close it out. And who knows what the Patriots are gonna have locked up at that point. They might.
I can't call them disappointment. I can't call them biggest disappointment if you did.
No, I understand. I understand. If they won 4 straight, I understand. I'm just saying.
And then what they got coming up after that. Like,
sure.
If you reading that schedule off for me, there's no way I could call the Dolphins the biggest disappointment this year.
Sure. I understand that. I guess for me, after 12 games, I expected them to be better than 5-7. I guess that's kind of where I'm coming from. Like, they got off to a really bad start at 1-7. So, I mean, who at 1-7, who comes back from that, right? Like that like it's humanly impossible to come back from 1-7 and possibly get into the playoffs. But with the schedule, and if they keep playing like this, maybe they find their way in there. And then you got to remember too. You got to remember too. Some of those teams in the AFC that's like 6-5, 5-6. That's still like. You got Denver in there, Oakland. I mean, not Oakland, Vegas. You got the Chargers in there, Cleveland. Those teams are going to be playing each other and kind of knocking each other off. And while those teams are doing that, Miami, they don't got to play nobody that's in that group. If they could rack off another 4 straight while those other teams beat each other up, they might find themselves...
Yeah, you just find I just find you more so proving my case in that I just see you more so proving my case in that statement though.
Yeah, I mean I don't disagree with your reasoning for it. I don't disagree with the reasoning. But to start off 1-7, that's not where I expected you to be. So NFC. Who's disappointed for you in the NFC?
NFC. Let me see the teams in my face. I mean, I wasn't expect you to go here. I had the NFL shit pulled up.
Well,
what am I looking for? Standings.
Well, for me, it's Seattle.
I didn't have them going to the playoffs no way, so no, they don't disappoint me.
Mm-hmm.
I had to say the Saints. But and truthfully, it's not really their fault per se. They lose their quarterback, and you know what I'm saying. That's really the basis as to which they operate. They don't have a quarterback. They don't really have a team.
Yeah.
And Kamara can't do nothing about that without a quarterback.
Right.
So Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill is supposed to be starting. This
I heard
game,
he's getting like the first team reps and all that. I heard that.
Yeah, it's just they
can have fun with that.
We have fun.
They can have a great time.
But
I expect the Trayvon Diggs pick. I expect the interception from Trayvon Diggs in that game.
I don't expect Taysom Hill to throw it more than 20 times.
All right, we'll see. Is Kamara healthy? Is he back or something?
I don't care who on the field. I don't see him throwing the ball 20 times, more than 20
Alright.
times.
Well, I mean, I think you're leaning closer to being right because they're gonna probably run some wildcat crap with
They're gonna
him.
be doing all types of other shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't see him throwing the
yeah.
ball more than 20 times.
He might. I mean, he might play him at receiver a few times. Who knows?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah. For me, it's Seattle, and I had Seattle as a playoff team. But 3-8 is yeah. I certainly wasn't expecting that, and it might be over for that era of Seattle football as we know it.
If he come to Pittsburgh, then it's all good.
Yeah, well, you know.
I mean, hell, he been running for his life the majority of his career in Seattle. Let him do it in Pittsburgh for a couple of years before we get this offensive line together.
But do you really want to be like the Seahawks without an offensive line?
No. I'm just saying because we don't have it right now. So if he came next year, I mean, I doubt we'd have it together by then.
But I guess y'all team is different from Seattle. I mean, at least y'all still got a defense. Y'all still got a defense somewhat.
We got a defense and we got a running game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we could just get that damn offensive line to act right, I'm telling you we wouldn't be as bad as we are if we could just get that offensive line. The defense don't want to play for this offense because this offense can't get nothing going.
It's Ravens Steelers on Sunday.
Look, man, I would love to
too
see
bad,
him pretend like.
And too bad I can't watch the game or I can't pay much attention to it because I'm gonna be bowling 5 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. So I'm gonna try to do my best to, because they have the games playing, up in the overhead thing where they keep the score at and stuff. So I'm just gonna peep every now and then and see what's going on.
I'm gonna be locked in. I'd be the type that be like, "Hey, it's your turn," and I don't even hear you because I'm locked in. Like Bama's gonna be talking to me, and I'm gonna be locked in.
Yeah,
But I feel you.
Yeah,
I'm talking about if I were in your situation.
Yeah, no, I know.
I were in your
situation.
Yeah,
I know. I might,
I'd be locked in.
I might be pissed off or something. Might throw a ball at somebody or something.
Yeah, I'm locked in. I'm locked in, and as long as the game stays interesting, I'm locked in. But I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm gonna do this whole y'all ain't fucking with us. I'm not doing that right now. I am downtrodden after that ass whipping.
Right. Hey, shout out to Big Kev 303. And is this Jungle Brother in the Facebook live chat? Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, Jungle Brother, man. Been a while since we've seen you, man. But appreciate everybody in the Facebook live chat.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm done, man. If you got nothing else, man,
I'm good.
Throat is killing me, man. I need some more tea.
Chill.
Shout out to pause. Shout out to all of our listeners and our supporters, man. We can't do the show without the listeners and the support. Just make sure y'all tune into this episode on all streaming platforms. And also make sure y'all check us out on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and also make sure you click the like button on the Facebook page. We're on Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast, and we're also on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. And if you got any questions or comments about the show, you can email us at barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com. So, go Ravens, man. You know how these games go, man. You know how these games go. Yeah, nigga. Coming for that ass, man. Coming for that ass on Sunday. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good week. Peace.
Well.
Recording stopped.